Welcome, welcome, yes, welcome to the Jera Is Me channel. And if you will kindly like, subscribe, and share, help your girl to grow by sharing the tea about me with your friends. Hit the notification bell as I post every Saturday with a short here and there during the week. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and you already know I'm bringing you another Jera-ism creation. So let's get into this. Ism. Want to share this story of a strange encounter for a young woman in Brick City, New Jersey. If you know, you know. This is a real place, real facts. The sun baked the city sidewalk hot and hard beneath Este's worn work shoes. She stood at the corner of Broad and Market Street, feeling as invisible as the gum on the curb, a ghost in a crowd of hundreds. Life had been a steady stream of closed doors lately, jobs lost, friends vanished, and a growing hollowness that made the bustle around her seem like a cruel joke. Her studies were challenging and the commute was always a hustle and bustle. She clutched her backpack as she had it hung strapped in front of her. She was debating whether to keep walking right out into the moving traffic or just stand still and wait for the light to turn, giving all at the corner the right of way to cross, when a voice behind her broke through the noise. "Excuse me, miss," the voice said, warm but hesitant. She ignored it at first, as she knew the stranger could not be talking to her with all the people huddled around. But then came a soft hand bracing her forearm. "Could you help me cross?" Estee turned. A man stood there, cane in hand, sunglasses veiling his eyes. His clothes were neat but plain. His presence somehow both humble and commanding, yet nothing outside of the norm of everyday city folks. Out of the crowd, out of the bright, indifferent daylight, he had chosen her, as if he had seen her, but he was blind. Or was this some con? It didn't shake her in that since there were way too many witnesses standing right there in hand length and her bag was on the other side of her, she had been picked, a single light in the chaos, for a purpose she couldn't yet understand. Of course, at that moment, as these struggles were strongly on her mind, she worried about getting home safely and being able to see herself with broken glasses that a few of her course mates helped to mend together with super glue and a small bit of duct tape. She had felt so worthless, not having money to get a replacement frame, nor more importantly, she needed a new pair of shoes, as her fake safety kitchen clogs were the cause of the situation she was in. They caused her to slip and fall in the wear room and crack her glasses. In that, she also tore her shoes at the base. Sadly, she knew no one to help her out. Issues. But she had to continue on, as the city was not kind to wimps. It was a relentless tide of footsteps, car horns, and indifferent faces. Estee stood at that corner with her cracked eyeglasses and shoes. She felt herself breaking and asking why. The culinary arts scholarship she had fought so hard for felt like a cruel joke now. She could barely see the recipes, let alone her way home without eyeglasses. The pair perched on her nose, pitifully repaired with super glue and stubborn hope, clung to her face by sheer will and prayer. She knew she was looking like Urkel and didn't care of the embarrassment, as she felt so invisible, as if she didn't matter. She wiped a tear before it could fall, breathing in the scent of hot asphalt and sidewalk hot dogs. The man stood there, a few inches behind her, stating, "Just tell me when we hit the other side, and if I need to set up for the sidewalk, that's all." Older, his face tilted slightly to the sky. His voice was calm, almost knowing, and Essie did not sense fraud or danger. Still, Esty hesitated, glancing at the surging traffic and the crowd too busy to care. Why her? Out of hundreds rushing past in their own little worlds, he had chosen her, broken glasses, empty wallet, and all. There were people he had to come through to reach her, as they stood behind and on both sides of her. And in that pause, she felt and heard it, a soft, steady whisper inside her battered heart. "Help him." "Okay," she replied. When the light turned and she started started walking with her hitched partner, she asked herself, why me? Este's heart pounded as she walked the man on her arm, feeling the thin strength of him under her worn jacket. Out of everyone here, why pick the girl who can barely hold herself together? As they reached the other side, she notified him. The cane tapped rhythmically beside them, and in an instant, he thanked her and ungripped her arm. He moved forward, weaving through the thrumming noise of the street. She looked down to grab her bus pass from her pants pocket and looked up to see the direction of the blind man, and he was gone. Just like that, gone, no trail or trace. Why, Lord? She asked. Again she murmured, I'm nobody. I can't even afford to fix my glasses. I need help, not give it. But as she hurried around the corner to catch the pause to take her home, a godly message hit her. You're exactly who I chose. Not because you're perfect, because you have a heart that still says yes. She felt it, not in words but in spirit, the weight of invisible hands steadying her, the warmth of a gaze that had never, not once, looked away. This isn't about crossing a street. This is about learning you are still worthy. You still carry something sacred. And to show you, just like that man who cannot see his way, it's not stopping him from going forward. He has purpose and most importantly has trust in me to help guide him on his way. He has no sight. Yours that stays blurred, hindered yet aided to clarity. Tears pricked her eyes, blurring the world into a swirl of light and shadow. She blinked them back, holding her head high, then looking out the window to wipe them all away. She sat alone that day on the bus as it was still full. Maybe I don't have much. Maybe the world sees nothing in me, but heaven sees everything. That voice in her gut spoke again. I have not forgotten you. You are mine. This wasn't random. This wasn't a chance happening. This was my hand reaching into your despair, reminding you that even in the middle of a teeming, uncaring city, my chosen one, take heart, be strong. The things I look at for you are not being the best dressed or the most successful. My chosen one, because of your spirit, battered but unbroken, still answered the call of kindness. She sighed with relief. Maybe, just maybe, she thought, it was the beginning of everything turning around. She arrived at her destination safely and walked the path of 3 blocks she was very familiar with, as it was the neighborhood to home. I was SD and this is my story, a real experience. By the way, that blind man disappeared quickly into the crowd as we reached the other side and he stepped up the curb. Did he really need my help? How did he manage before me? How was he going to fare the rest of his way? Or was he an earth angel sent to guide my steps and reroute my negative thoughts and that woe is me attitude I was harboring? Maybe. Tell me what you think. Has anything similar ever happened to you? Have you ever needed help from a random stranger?
Of muted angels giving love but getting nothing back. Oh, people, help the people. And if you're homesick, give me your hand